left alone with a bin bag.
Yes,
oh
2
my
bin bags.
God.
I just received the message that the agency in London wants to sign you. I was shocked. The best news, but at the wrong time. I just came back from China. I had to carry on with my high school. China is very straightforward. They need to make money. The clock is ticking and you have to make those outfits. They don't care about you. You're sick. You're tired. Doesn't matter. You're here to make money. We pay you money. You do your job. That's it. It was really hard. Kids, having parties, having fun. If I was working, I wouldn't change a thing. If I go back to have a choice, I would still choose to do it. I was so worried to be judged again. I went there and I remember your reaction. You're beautiful. Your English is amazing. Your poses are great. You're just amazing for who you are.
Oh, darling.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Model Agents podcast. I'm Gemma Howorth, the CEO and founder of Body London. Today on the podcast, I'm interviewing Sonni. She's been a model with me for 7 years, since she was 16. She's from Ukraine, and it's a really interesting conversation that we're going to have, so I hope you enjoy. Okay, welcome, Sonni, to the Model Agents podcast. How are you?
I'm very good. I'm very excited to be here. How about you?
Very good. Excited to have you here. Well, we have a long history, so for everyone listening, let's kind of take it all the way back to the beginning. So where were you born?
I'm originally from a very small town in Ukraine.
What's it called?
It's called Sumy.
So what was it like growing up there?
Growing up there, it's been the most wonderful thing, even though Ukraine is no longer my home. Coming back there and having those, kind of flashbacks and memories makes my heart full. And I hope the war will be over soon so I can come home more often, spending all the holidays together. And my family was very united. We were all so close to each other. So it meant a lot for me to be with them, and so I do miss them a lot, and I do miss my home a lot, even though London is my actual home right now, and I'm happy to be here as well.
So how does it feel now when you go back home and you see your hometown? Have you been back recently?
The first time I was back to Ukraine last summer. It was obviously a life-changing experience, seeing my home completely ruined. It's all different, but at the same time, I can see how people change in a better way. They started living now, in this moment, cherish each and every day. I can see my family living in those conditions, having those attacks almost every day, not knowing what's going to happen tomorrow, but they're still very happy because now they know they have to live right now. Because, the first day I came there, I was shocked that we have airliers, we have all the attacks, and they're not stressed.
Wow.
It's terrible to say, but they got used to that.
Yeah.
And they live in a present.
Do you try and take some of that with you when you come back to London?
Obviously, it's hard. I mean, after I come back from Ukraine, the first months, of course, I feel very inspired.
Yeah.
But then you kind of get into this routine when you think too much about the future, about the past. And so I need to go back to Ukraine more often to remind myself what really matters.
Yeah.
But it does change a lot. When I call my family, seeing them happy, it makes a big difference, even though having this comfortable life, having a job, safe environments, and I don't appreciate that when people living in those conditions cherish every day. Of course, you're trying to kind of balance also your kind of worries and stuff.
Your modeling journey, how did you get scouted? How were you scouted?
So I've been doing modeling since I was a baby. it wasn't a career. I wasn't making any money. It was just a hobby. I was at this kind of after-school club. It was about modeling and acting. And then later on, when I was 13, I was scouted for Ukrainian Fashion Week. I was so young, but the designer, she saw the potential in me. And after the Fashion Week, she started taking me for her campaigns, for lookbooks. And every time my dad was picking me up from those shoots or shows, she was trying to convince him how amazing I am and that I should start modeling as soon as possible. And because at that age, I was 14 that time, you cannot make any big decisions yourself. You still do rely on your parents. And my dad also saw the excitement I had, how happy I was coming back from those jobs after school, and I started posting my first professional images online from those shoots. And a few agencies approached me. And again, my dad was very much involved in all of that. And he was going to bigger cities like to Kyiv, to Kharkiv, to all the shoots. We just signed the agreement, the first contract. And a few months later, at the age of 15, I traveled to Korea for my first modeling contract.
So you're 15. So just quickly going back a step. So if we can tell everyone how far away, so how long would it take you and your father to go to Kyiv, for example?
It took
far?
Exactly the year from my first show to when I had a show for Ukrainian Fashion Week for designers. Her name is Yulia Prekrostova. She's actually very popular right now. And it's amazing to see her growing as well. And from that time to my first contract, it was exactly a year.
It was a year.
But it felt forever because it was a bit stressful. And we had an agency who wanted to sign me before, but my dad rejected it. He didn't like the contract. So it was he took it very seriously. So
your dad was with you?
My dad was with me.
That's good.
It just happened to be in my family that all those big decisions would dad take. And he would take care of this. So it was a year, exactly a year.
Yeah. And then you go to Asia, aged 15.
15 myself.
Whereabouts?
I still don't know. In Seoul.
Oh, wow.
And I still don't know how I did it. Honestly, I look back. My sister is now 15, and now she's also starting her modeling journey.
Wow.
And she has those castings now for also Asian countries. I cannot imagine her. She's a baby going to Asia, and I went to Korea, and later on, because I was still in high school and I was an excellent student, so it was very hard to juggle both. So when the other models, they would explore the cities, have fun after work, and I would just be at home studying my high school, stuff.
So Korea. So maybe tell everyone about that.
Yeah, I had an amazing mother agency back in Ukraine.
So what is a mother agency?
Mother agency Charm. The agency is an international company that would help you to find contracts worldwide.
There we go,
That's the agency I had that time, and they were amazing. They helped me to build my first book. They were supporting me, and a few months after we signed the contract, they actually found about 5-7 contracts in Asia.
Wow.
I had the option to go to Japan, to Korea, to Taiwan, to China, and we just picked up the right one, the right timing.
What was the right choice for you? What were the...
To be honest, I don't remember much, again, because we were taking decision as a family, what was right for me. It was the dates and stuff, what they wanted, what their terms of each of the contract. I don't remember exactly, but Korea was one of the safest options.
Okay, yeah.
And so we found the right one, and we started the process of doing the visa, because you have to get a visa, working visa. And I had an interview. We went to embassy, had an interview. It was, to be honest, to Asian countries, it's not compared how you come here. It's such a long process. It was fine.
Okay.
And a few months later, no, 1 month later after we signed, I went to Seoul.
So you arrived to Seoul. Did they put you in a model apartment? What was that all like?
In those countries like Japan, Korea, Taiwan, they do take care of you so much. They pick you up from the airport. You have a model apartment with different models. You have a driver. So they do take you to the castings, they take you to the jobs. Even on the job, you have a booker with you. So it's not like here you're more independent.
Yeah.
Back in Asia, they were controlling you a lot. We had a curfew. So after 10, we couldn't leave the house, for example. So it was very strict. It was nothing to worry about. And but the problem was that I didn't speak English. I did learn it a lot back home, but we don't speak it. I didn't practice. I had a very good tutor, but in reality, I couldn't say a word. Like it was so hard. I was shy. I was a baby, and
You're 15.
Yeah, I was very judged by because I remember my booker. He took me from the airport. I had a day flight, a day journey. I had a stopover, and straight after the airport, he took me on the casting to see how I can perform.
Wow.
After we went to he lived with us in the apartment to control all of us. When I came to the apartment, he said, okay, change now, and you're going to show me how you pose. Oh my God. It's just like now I look back there, I don't know how I handled this.
Wow.
And I remember calling my parents, crying, saying, I want to go home.
Oh my God.
And they're like, okay, let's try a couple of days, and it doesn't work, we're going to go back home, it's fine.
Yeah.
But then later on, I learned. My English got improved because my agent kept talking to me a lot, and I had to pick up as fast as possible. And posing wise, it's actually, sorry, but it's bullshit. It's just experience. You can never learn poses. But they were teaching me to really be fast and do it like a machine. You can never ever learn it this way. You have to go to the shoot. You have to learn it yourself, and then it's gonna become natural to you. But my task was every day to film 100 poses for him.
Wow. To film
how
for him.
Yeah, he would, because if I don't have castings, it was very quiet when I came there, very quiet casting wise and job wise. So every day, if I'm not working, I would just film all those poses.
That's so weird.
So weird.
And would he critique you on them?
Yes.
All 100 poses. That's good.
He would say the way I move, the confident or I'm not confident, and it's the same happened when I came to China. It's just like, what's wrong with those poses? Like, can I just leave me alone? I'm gonna do my job when I am in the shoot.
Yeah.
But no, you had to like show them before.
Wow.
And even the casting, here you come, you speak to the client, it's more personal.
Yeah.
And they do expect you to pose, but they're not gonna ask you straight away, okay, stand up, do 1,000 poses. No.
We like the personality here, don't
Personality,
we?
of course. That's why I'm here in this country.
Yeah.
And
so how was Korea? Was it successful for you, or it was more about the experience, would you say?
Korea wasn't just the right time in general in this industry at the time, but plus I wasn't experienced at all.
Yeah.
I did a big campaign for a nails brand. It was literally everywhere in Korea. I did a few e-commerce, but I didn't make any money there. So I gained lots of experience, but it wasn't successful. If you talk about like money or something.
Yeah.
Because, I had lots of expenses and I barely covered my expenses in there.
That's the problem when they provide you with the driver to pick you up and the driver to take you there.
And the flights there,
all of your expenses are going up. But if you're not booking enough jobs, then you
end up just going back home.
Yeah.
In the best case with your pocket money.
So then after Korea, did you go home or did you go straight to China?
No, I had to go home because of my school.
Okay.
Again, if I wouldn't be a good student, I think it would be fine just to study online or something. But I had very good relationship with my teachers back at school. They supported me in my journey.
Yeah.
And I had to go back and prove that it hasn't changed.
Yeah.
So I came back home for about 8 months. I was studying. I had some exams. I had to pass some big exams, and during the time we were looking for the right contracts for summer.
Mm-hmm.
And we found we got the contract in China. But that was a different contract. That contract when you can have a kind of salary, but if you work more, you're gonna get more. So it wasn't it.
So a guarantee.
I had guarantee. Yeah,
Yeah.
I had like an insurance. Okay, it's gonna be fine. I'm just going for experience. So we were looking for this kind of contract, and we did find it. And
So how does that work for everyone listening? Because a lot of models go to Asia, and their mother agents will place them, and they will look for a guarantee. So that is a guaranteed income
yeah,
that you will make. So you could leave after 3 months, but you would know that you would have X amount. What happens if you work really well and you then earn more money? Does the agency keep that, or do they give you a bonus, let's say?
That's the term of the contract. My contract said that if I work more, I get more, but the minimum amount, like this money I get, this the amount they put into the agreement. You can, but some contracts, they say this is a specific amount, and you cannot. It doesn't matter how much you work.
Yeah,
This is not right.
no,
because then they make sure you work a lot.
Yeah.
In there, and I remember they were pushing me so much in the beginning, so to make sure I work more. And when I gained my first clients, my first, that experience, it was a lot easier for me to then work even more and get more clients, be busier. So it does make a lot of sense for those who are traveling to Asia. I don't know how things work there right now. Honestly, it's been it was 80 years ago. I'm not sure it works the same way right now, to be honest, but that's how it was back then.
There's so many models that still go to Asia, mother agencies, especially not in the UK, when they are in a smaller, quiet market, like Ukraine or, similar quieter markets. They will want their 10%. So the mother agents will get 10% of the model's earnings. So then they will love a guarantee from China, because then they know, okay, great, I'm going to make my 10%. But also for the model,
I still believe I wouldn't change a thing. If I go back and I would have a choice, I would still choose to do it.
Yeah.
Because by the age of 16, I was experienced, had a good foundation, and when I came here, you remember, I was different from the models when they come in the 20s. This is the most valuable experience. And right now, I see my sister starting this journey, and I do support her a lot.
Yeah.
You grow up so fast because you have to, and you build a good foundation for a real career in Europe or US or anywhere in the world after this. So I would advise people to start this way very young and then carry on in here.
And what's it like on set in China? Because obviously in the UK, we just love to hang out and we chat and we like to just make a little on-set family. Do they speak to you?
It's just, honestly, I don't know if I would ever be able to do it again after London, especially. Even when I go to Europe, when I spend some time in Spain or Italy, I cannot do it anymore.
Really?
After London, no, it's a different world. It's just the attitude, the vibe you have even on set, how you build up a team.
Yeah.
No, in China it's very straightforward. They need to make money. It's time, clock is ticking, and you have to make those outfits. They don't care about you. They don't. You're sick. You're tired. Doesn't matter. You're here to make money. We pay you money. You do your job. That's it.
Yeah.
That's kind of the attitude.
Yeah. Imagine in London that would not happen. We'd say, "Oh, darling, are you okay?" No.
Yeah, it's not the case. That's why for me, after London, it's so hard to compromise and work anywhere else. And especially with Body London, with the clients I've got with Body London. I become so picky, because I remember I had this thought before the pandemic. Shall I go to China, make those money and come back here? But then I realized I can't do this anymore. That's it. no way for me.
Good. I like to hear that. I mean, we do look after you.
You do.
So, I mean, you briefly touched on it, but how, we know this anyway, how did you come to the UK? Or maybe I'll start. So I get proposed models all day, every day of my life. And I remember seeing your pictures, and I remember I remember exactly where I was. My memory is just bizarre. Anyway, and I opened the email and I saw your face, and I remember the shoot. I was honestly just like, I need this girl. I'm obsessed with this girl. Yeah, I just remember seeing you, and then I was obviously, you asked for Polaroids and casting videos, and back then Instagram was very early days. So now we would want to see Instagram, and I knew instantly. I said, okay. I fell in love with you. I was like, I need this girl. So then we started the long process of you applying for your visa, etc., etc. And then finally, your visa came through. So we flew you to London, aged 16 years old. And I had this wonderful lady, Tita, who you remember, working for me. And this was very early days of model management. So she was looking after the models, and she really was mum.
Yeah, it was like a mum in here. Yeah, for sure.
So,
I do miss her, actually.
I know. So she, we really, took care of you. And maybe you tell the story. So that's kind of the beginning of how I found you.
Actually, I've never heard the story, so it's good for me to know actually how it all happened. Because for me, I just received the message that the agency in London wants to sign you. I also remember this day.
Really?
How excited I was. But at the same time, I just came back from China. I had to carry on with my high school. I was shocked.
Yeah.
The best news, but at the wrong time. What I'm going to do? But anyway, we decided to carry on and do a visa. We were all stressed if it's going to work out, because I was too young. And anyway, I got a visa. I also remember the day I got a visa. I was at school and my dad sent me the picture of the visa. Yeah. And later on in January, you booked a flight for me to come here. But what happened? Ukrainians at the time could travel to Europe without visa. But you had to change your biometric passport. My passport was still old. I forgot to inform you. So you booked a flight for me through a different, Austria or something was the stopover. And I remember I had a big luggage of all the essentials. And I came to the airport and they said, look, you can do a transit, but you cannot leave the airport and take your luggage.
Oh, no.
And I was like, how can I come if I don't have my belongings? Like right now, it would never be a problem. Like whatever, I'm going to buy it. That time was it was disaster. I said to my dad, I'm not going. I cannot go without my stuff. No way. I was crying. He was like, no, Sonni. You're stronger than this. You're going. He put me all these clothes.
Good dad.
He put the clothes in like a plastic bag, like one of those kind of.
Was he with you?
In the airport.
Oh, okay.
No, he wasn't coming. He still hasn't been to the UK yet.
Really?
Yeah. Anyway, he put the clothes. Remember this terrible plastic zip? Like on this markets they have those
like a Ziploc.
Ziploc terrible bag. They put all my clothes in there. Like you go like this, it's fine. You're gonna be fine.
No.
I was like, I'm not gonna be fine. I was so upset with him. Like he pushed me there. I was like, I'm not gonna. Anyway, I made it, and I remember this. I lost the hands of this bag.
Yeah.
I came here. Literally, I asked the staff at the airport. It was Stansted or something. I was asking the staff about plastic bags. They literally gave me the rubbish bin. Those.
Are you joking? You arrived to London with a bin bag.
Yes,
oh
2
my
bin bags.
God. Wow.
I remember I had a girl at the apartment. I took a cab and I came to the flat literally with those 2 bin bags.
Oh my gosh, she must have been like, okay, interesting.
Like, you're fine. Yeah, she was very sweet. Remember this girl, Katrina?
Oh, yes, you guys were best friends.
And I was holding those bags and the shock, the stress. Right now, it would never be a problem. Like, whatever, I'm going to take a new flight or I'm going to come, I'm going to buy.
Yeah.
That time, it felt like, the world just ended and that's it.
That is so funny.
And
love that.
I came here, and you know what impressed me? Because I was so worried after my experience in Asia, when you've been always judged, criticized. I was so worried that London is, the next level, and I was so worried to be judged again. And I remember I meant to go first day, I couldn't make it because of the castings. And the second day I had to go to the agency to meet you. And I remember how stressed I was. I remember I was like, okay, it's gonna be fine, I'm gonna be fine. I went there and I remember your reaction.
I might cry.
You just accepted me for who I am.
Oh, sweet pea.
That's like, you're beautiful, your English is amazing, your poses are great. You're just amazing for who you are.
Oh, darling. Oh, come here.
I was just impressed that you loved me for who I am without judging, without you were just impressed. Oh my God, I love your skin. Because I always was judged by my skin, that my skin is olive. Here, I love your skin. Oh my God, look at this hair. Oh my God, the way you look. Oh my God, how did you learn English? I remember how excited you were.
I was so excited.
And I was just like, really? That's how it could be? I could just be myself? And I think with this energy, with those emotions, that's how I started going to the castings.
Yeah.
And the next day, because I was more confident, because of course, my self-esteem was very low after Asia, after this first experiences. And then suddenly my mindset shifted. Okay, I can be myself. And I went to lots of castings, and one of them were ASOS.
Yeah.
And basically I got ASOS on my second day.
Yeah.
And
Changed.
Everything has changed because I was actually coming to London for a couple of weeks, to be honest. My mother agency told me that, Sonni, we had some girls traveling to the UK. They did some, jobs, but they never made any money in there, just for experience. So I had very low expectations. I never thought I can make I can take any job, get any job. So I was going there just for experience, to see how maybe something's gonna happen. And then suddenly the next day I got the ASOS, you book me the job, and ASOS starts booking me a few times a week, every week. I get other jobs, I get London Fashion Week, some shows, and things start getting so fast, so much happened, so busy. And I realized that I covered my expenses and I actually making the profit. And I remember saying this to my mother agent, and she was like, are you sure? Let's just calculate. Yes, I'm sure. I'm really making money in here. I actually get the jobs. I work every single day. So I stayed here You
were making good money, and you were 16, but also how were you managing to still study? Because I was obviously, so in demand.
So what I was doing, I was actually studying after work, doing all the tasks. I was asking my classmates to send me the homework and stuff to study. I didn't have time to even see the city because I was studying after work. And actually, that's good to know for models who are always scared to, they're not sure how to combine jungle modeling and studies. Trust me, it's possible. It's hard, but it's possible. And I was coming back school, passing all of my exams. Then I was going to London for like 2 weeks, coming back home for like ASOS. They always wanted to book me. Coming back home, study, coming back. It was really hard because that time when kids, having parties, having fun, experiencing life, I was working.
Do you feel like you missed out?
I'm catching up. Yeah, I'm catching up now,
All your rapes.
but now he's my husband.
Actually, there's one story that we need to tell everyone. You fell down the tube stairs.
Yeah. I had too much on my shoulders because, when you just come in town, you have too many castings, shoots, test shoots, jobs. And in one day, I had 2 castings, test shoots, and a beauty job. London is huge. It was all in different locations. I was trying to make it on time, still learning the tube, how it all works. So basically, yeah, I was running late from my test shoot to the shoot. It was a beauty shoot for Pixie. Pixie, I still remember. And I fell down on the stairs and completely crushed my chin. First week in London, I just got ACEs. And
blood pouring out.
Blood pouring, but you know, I didn't even notice that is because I had this adrenaline that I didn't realize that I have blood. And then I saw I had this kind of green fur coat.
Oh no.
And I see it's full of blood. I'm like, shit, what's going on? And people start giving me the tissues and asking me if I'm okay. I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. And I look at the
blood just pouring out. Fine.
Yeah, and I remember that even when I left the tube, I went to Costa or some coffee shop and I went to the bathroom cleaning my wound, and I was like, it's fine, it can be covered with the makeup. And I make a picture with Tasha, so with Booker, and I sent her the message like, is it okay if I go to a job like this? She was like, Sonni, no way, go to the hospital, take a cab. Well, I'm gonna send teacher to the hospital. Go to the hospital right now. I'm like, but I'm fine, don't worry, I'm gonna work like.
Yeah.
Look at literally, I was like,
I remember this. So I was like, teacher was like, I'm going. She got in the car, she went to meet you. But Sonni, being Sonni, trying to go to the job, we were like, Sonni, it's okay. Just calm down.
Yeah,
the client's gonna hate me. No.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like, I need to make it to the job. I'm gonna be fine. You can put a bit of makeup here, there, and I'm gonna be all right. No, you have to go. Yeah, and we spent. I'm very grateful to Tita. She spent over 7 hours in emergency for me waiting, and actually they had to put stitches there. It wasn't just a little thing; it was something big.
Yeah,
they put the stitches, and I remember this disappointment I had that I just started getting those clients, getting busy, and then my whole chin is crushed and I have all those big stitches on my chin, so I had to wait for a week for them to heal.
And that was tough.
And you said to me, like, just stay home, just take time to recover. And like, I'm impatient.
I know. Oh, we know.
Of course you do.
So am I. Do you remember where you were when the war started?
Yeah, I was here. I had Harrods that time. I was going to Harrods. I had to go to the job, but then,
Yeah.
I stayed home.
Day.
Yeah, terrible day.
Yeah.
We were all didn't know how to handle things, what to do, what actions to take, and who to trust, because you see one thing in the media, you see another thing, no one knows what's going on, what's happening, and it's just, you live in this moment of especially for my family, because some people, they're from best part of Ukraine. It was less dangerous, you could leave Ukraine easily. My home was surrounded by Russians, so my hometown was literally surrounded. You couldn't leave my hometown in a safe way. Well, what I remember is a week later we decided that we're not gonna wait for this so-called green corridor when the Russians give you the safe kind of road to live, but it's never safe anyway. You never know what they're gonna do. So we decided that it's gonna try to live themselves. And the day we'll never forget it. You know that you may not see them again. You and your family is your whole world. And you don't know what's going to happen. And actually, they were living with some of our other, like another family, and it was a little girl, 6 months old, and they were living together, like 2 cars. And there was alert, and they decided to wait. While they were waiting, they decided to change the road, how they're going to go. And the initial road they meant to take, there was an accident when the Russians started shooting all the cars.
Oh my God.
Yeah, all lucky, unlucky neighbors. They started shooting the cars with kids. So if they didn't wait and stay and would go their initial following the initial plan, they would just realizing this,
Yeah.
you understand how for part of Ukraine, and then we had to make a decision what we're gonna do after, because my dad cannot leave the country. He's a man under 60. And he's a doctor as well. He needs to be there, serve for the country in his own way. So my mom had to leave, my sister had to leave. Where to live? UK didn't propose any plans, any visas, any, we were waiting for them to. So my mom stayed in Slovakia with our friends. And later on, the government introduced this Ukrainian schemes, how refugees can come. And my mom managed to come here. But seeing her upset, seeing her, depressed every day, she couldn't carry on. Like, she was trying for a year. We lived together. Then she found a place, but she wasn't in her place, even though she appreciated that it was all safe. But she was here without the family. She was here without that, and that makes the foundation for the family. So she gave up. And later on, a year after, she got back to Ukraine.
Okay.
And now they're all happy, and they just hope for the best, and we like we all do. And she's happier back in there than she was here.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's amazing. So tell us about Sonni London. What is Sonni London?
So Sonni London is, I don't have kids now, but I feel like it's my baby. It's just the business that brings me so much, and pain and joy and stuff. So that's Sonni London is my business. The project I started before the war. So it wasn't a patriotic approach. I just knew how amazing our Ukrainian brands are, and I was surprised to see that most of them are not represented in here. We have a couple of brands represented in Harrods or Farfetch or somewhere, Selfridges, but most of them don't have this opportunities to be represented in here. And I was thinking, why should I do kind of a platform or a shop or something where I can represent those brands? So we started, my husband was helping me, but then it all happened just before the war. So the war started, I had to stop the project. I was focusing on my family, how to evacuate them, how to start their life in here. But then when things kind of calmed down, I decided to go back to my idea, and my business partner joined me. We started this platform representing Ukrainian fashion brands. And few months later, we got an opportunity to do a pop-up in Soho House. Because when we started, it was an amazing platform, the way it looked, how it was structured, but we didn't know how to generate sales, how to make people buy those clothes. And the price point was very high because clothes are very unique. It's not the mass market. Those pieces are very exclusive, but how to tell people that they're exclusive, how to make people buy them. It was actually very stressful in the beginning. But then we had an opportunity to do pop-up in Soho House, so we could put our clothes on the rails. You attended this event, and people started showing the real interest, and buying the clothes, looking at the price. They were buying the clothes. They were interested. They were impressed, and we saw the interest. And that's when things started going better and better. We started getting more brands, doing more pop-ups, and that's it's been evolving. And this year, we decided to change our business structure. Right now, it's more like a drop shipping. It's a concession platform. So basically, we can represent more brands without holding the stock in the UK. Because right now, it's so easy to send anything from Ukraine. It takes honestly 3-4 days for parcels to arrive from Ukraine. So what we do now, we get more brands, more pieces on the platform. When people do order, it comes not from us in here holding the minimum stock. It comes from Ukraine. And this way it works a lot better because I don't have pressure. They lose nothing. And that's how we're now trying to build the company.
You must have changed so many people's lives from doing that, but also given hope, I think must have been special, because all these amazingly talented creatives who needed that outlet going through such a traumatic time. I think that's so special.
During the war, to be honest, it wasn't that unique. Quite a few people started doing the same thing. But I'm glad it doesn't matter how many people are doing that. Brands can gain global recognition. That's what is important. And of course, seeing the designers happy, seeing that their clothes are selling, that they got an interest, of course, that's inspired me so much.
Imagine if I'd never got you to London and you were in Ukraine. Do you think you would have been the same driven Sonni and set up?
No, I would always be dreaming, that's for sure. That's kind of my nature. But all the opportunities I have, the life I have, of course, is thanks to you. Because if you never brought me here, I would never have this life. Right now, London, England, it's my home.
Yeah.
I have my house, I have my husband here now, I have my company, I have all those clients, those relationship build of everything I've got right now. It's only because one day you brought me here.
But it's also you.
Otherwise, yeah, it's also my personality and stuff, but my journey would be so different. I don't know how different it will be, what would happen, how things would change. But all I know that it all started from you.
Cry. I always say that you are my fourth child. I have 3 children.
And they're big now.
I know. Makes me sound so old. And I've said this forever. Sonny's my 4th baby. She's my big baby now.
But your baby's so big as well.
I know. And then when my 4th baby got married, I thought, oh, this is weird. How do I feel about this?
Yeah, I remember how it shocked you when you saw the ring on my finger. Like, Sonni, what the hell?
I mean, I got married very young, so I can't.
Yes, so you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember our conversation about
kindred spirits. So, interesting question for you. So, what I would ask you this, but I think it's slightly different because you actually have a mini Sonni, your sister, who was 15, and that's when you started modeling. What advice would you give to your sister who's about to start this journey modeling?
I am overthinker. I worry a lot, and to my younger self, I would say, don't worry, trust the process. But I still worry. I still don't trust the process, and it's,
Yeah,
I can say those things.
I know.
But and my sister, she just takes things easily, and I think that's why her journey will be a lot easier because she don't overthink that much. She lives, and also she grew up in those conditions, COVID, war, all those things that influence her personality as well. So I think her journey will be different, and you have to trust the process. You will be the right for certain people.
I think that's very good advice, because if you can sometimes think, I need to, exactly like you said, I want to work for this brand, and then you get so much rejection as a model. So then if you're only aiming for that and it's not happening, you're just it's hard to keep your confidence up. That's just going to...
Yeah, you should, and you should really appreciate what you've done, what you have. Sometimes slow down and look back. I try to do it. Like, I do try. Sometimes when I'm worried that I'm not good enough or I haven't done enough, I look back and I see what jobs I've done. How even you should forget about the names, how I felt there, how I transformed myself, how I transformed my career. And most of the jobs I've done, they influence my career in a positive way.
Yeah. Don't you always find when you do shoots, my favorite thing would always be kind of like you said, not necessarily the output, but spending 10 hours a day with people. You just get to know people on such a personal level. And then when you get rebooked again, it's just even more special.
It's even more special. That happened with me with the recent job I did for Foss & Reckless. We did a beautiful campaign in Paris.
Gorgeous. Yeah.
And I was so excited. Also, this job happened in the right time of my life. I was really happy, in peace, the right mindset. And then I got this job. It's in Paris. It was a night shoot in this
gorgeous.
locations. It was beautiful outfit, an amazing team.
Yeah.
We got so close. And now when I come back for the ecoms or something, every time I get so excited. I'm so happy. And I can't even explain this, the connection we have. And that's actually the thing.
Yeah. No, I get it. I think that's special. Definitely. Thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you for having me. We had a very emotional podcast. I was so nervous and then ended up being so emotional.
Yeah,
It was amazing
wonderful.
talking to you.
Yeah.
Thank you.